Hello everyone, and welcome to So Many Games Little Time. We are finally going to continue our top 100. Of course, I'm here with...
Evangelos?
And I'm Joachim as usual. And so we last time stopped at 31. So now we are going to continue with 30. And also we with the over-under, so the crossovers, at the moment we are at, let me just check, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 crossovers with 30 more games to go. And I just checked the first video. Apparently, we talked about 18, and then you suggested 20, and then for some reason I said I'm gonna go under 18. So I don't really know if we're going for 18 or 20 now. I guess we'll see. But
What are we on at the moment? What's our number at the moment?
9 with 30 more
9,
games to
okay.
go. Yeah. So
I think you're safe. I think you might win it.
when were we taking
I think
18 or
18.
20?
I think 18 makes sense.
18. So you're going over 18. I'm going under. All right. We'll see. We'll
Well,
see.
at least 18 now.
Yeah,
Okay.
because last year we had 18, and now because of the influx of new games, we were like, maybe it's going to be different this year.
Yeah.
All right.
We have number 30.
It's actually okay. It's my version of the number 1 game on Board Game Geek, which obviously is Brass, but Brass is not on my not here on the list here. This high would actually be Nucleum. The game I bought last year at Demon Expo.
Yeah.
And hopefully this year I'll be buying the expansion that'll be there. And I really like this game. You've played it, right?
Yeah, I own it as well. Yeah. I own it as well.
And I've got the Nucleum expansion in Australia. I haven't tried it yet. I need to get back into it.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I forgot that you played it and you liked it, actually.
Yeah. Did you like it? Okay.
So we're such a bad poker player.
Okay, maybe we should make it 20. No, I can't talk about that. The mechanisms, I forgot to revise them because there's so much going on. But I like it so much more. It's that tension of what you do with those discs. Did you commit it onto the board and put your one of your guys on there and get the benefit, or do you keep it for the action?
The rail tracks.
The rail tracks, yeah. I just think that clever mechanism, you build up the networks, it's everything that Bloss does, but I think it does Bloss better. That's what I feel. And I just think there's some real difficult decisions to make. It doesn't feel as random as Bloss for me with the cards. But no, I think there's a game I should play more, but it's just difficult to play heavy games like this all the time. What do you think? I just think it's.
Well, I don't want to talk too much about it, otherwise I won't have anything to say later.
Yeah,
but I'll say one thing though. I'll say one thing. I totally agree with everything that you've said, and I still need to get the expansions. I haven't gotten them yet because I don't think I played enough, and I'm like, but it's more maps, right? So I need to play the ones that we have right now. But one thing. I'll talk about it later again, but I want to mention this already. One thing that I like is that you can just go anywhere you want. You're not stuck.
You have total freedom.
So
it felt more. I felt more control in this game, and I think I felt like I had more options, and just this clever little mechanism, like the tiles on the side and the tiles that you push onto the top of your player board.
Yeah.
I just found the game had like really juicy, interesting decisions.
Yeah.
But my pity is Nucleum.
Nucleum. Okay.
Yeah.
My 30 is Twilight Imperium's little brother, and that is the Roll and Write Twilight Inscription. That's number 30. Because I really, really enjoy that. I think it's so cool. It has all the races of Twilight Imperium, and you're basically having 4 different areas that you can choose to activate on your turn. And then you roll the big, nice chunky dice, so satisfying. And you see what you can do and where you can do it. Like one section is all about economy and money. The other section is exploration in space. Other one is military. And then there's one more, which is research. And of course, they all combo with each other if you do certain things. And the fact that you have your own race has their own special skills and benefits and drawbacks as well. So it's pretty cool. It's also good solo. So it looks nice as well because it has the orange, instead of the typical black ink, it has like the orange fluorescent ink, which is pretty cool as well. Yeah, really, really enjoy that one a lot. And I hope they'll put expansions out at some point. I don't know if they're going to, but I would hope that they do.
Because it's on my list, but I also really enjoyed the game. There's just one flaw with the game. I think that the military is not that exciting.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the one. I think expansion could fix that if they ever did expansion. But I agree, it's a great game. It's a really fun game for rolling right. It's one of the best ones.
Yeah, it's
and the
definitely
player
my
powers are
highest
cool.
roller. Yeah,
the player powers are cool.
Yeah, and then one other reason why they should have an expansion is so that there's different events, because now there are different events, but there's not that many, so they, it's very quickly to predict them already.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, just more stuff would be great. Yep, good choice.
That's my 30, Twilight Inscription.
Number 29.
It's an old game. How old is it now? I'm going to check up here. It's 2011, so it's quite an old game. And it's one I always champion because I really do enjoy it. And that's Lancaster by Matthias Kramer.
Yeah.
It's a game I got the game. I got the big box version of it, and it's just that it has some very clever mechanisms, and I think it was one of the first, and it's quite original mechanisms. But the main one is it's a worker placement, but that you can bump people off. Right?
Yeah.
So what happens is you get your workers have values to them, and if you put the worker down, a guy with a high value can kick you out.
Yeah.
He kicks you out, you take him back, and then you can put him somewhere else. But then you also get these squires that you can add to your number to make it bigger. So maybe you'll make you commit squires when you place them, and then someone can just secure it. Or sometimes the guy will come with more squires and kick you out, even though and then you lose the squires. So you get your worker back, but you lose your squires, your bonuses.
Oh, okay.
So it's just that tension, and then there's also like this. There's the worker spots there, and then at the bottom of the board they got you got to commit soldiers to go fight in France. But what happens is, if you put a worker there, if it doesn't reach the amount it needs to win, your guy's stuck there for a while. So you kind of need to either commit more workers there to get to the value you need, or have to encourage other players to put their workers there to make up the numbers. Okay. Sometimes your guy could be stuck there because you committed a soldier, then no one else commits to the battle, and he's stuck there. Until he. So that's very clever. But also another clever, interesting is that at the end of every round, there's a couple of laws that are being proposed, and these laws are things like victory points for certain things. To say it could be victory points for the amount of squires you have, whatever. It doesn't matter. But there's certain laws that come into place, and they'll be the effect the next round, and the players get to vote.
Yeah.
So they vote towards the law. So if a law it's beneficial to me, other people vote it down, or maybe I can try and negotiate with people to say I'll vote for this law, but then you vote for that law for me, and then I don't know. It's just an interesting mechanism there too. Yeah.
Or if you're playing rubbish, then the law might be voted if it's good for you because you're lost anyway. So okay, yeah,
exactly. It's like you can have it, kind of thing. Yeah. Or you just or you just collect those. I can't remember what they're called, but they're like influence tokens that you can use for the voting yourself. It's a very clever worker placement game. It's one of the early ones, and I think a lot of the mechanisms still hold out. Yeah. So the prettiest board in the world. It's kind of a bland board, but it's a game I really, really enjoy. Lancaster.
Well, maybe one day they'll release a deluxe edition and then revamp it completely.
I'm happy with the one I got, so that's good.
Okay.
So what's your 29?
My 29 is City of the Great Machine. So basically, it is a You can play solo, but it's mostly supposed to be a co-op, or you can also play one versus many, I guess, because you are fighting against the machine. The machine being trying to take over the whole city, right? And you're trying to stop it because it's almost there. It's like the last straight line, I guess. So you're going all over the city trying to incite rebellion, while the machine sends out its minions to stop you, right? But then it's the cool part is you have a lot of different characters, a little bit like Arkham Horror, you know, all these different personalities, and you choose 4 of them, and then they play the game. So you can always have a lot of different combinations to choose. They all have different abilities. And you can also fight, so you can knock out the minions of the machine temporarily, of course. And of course, if another player plays, they will control the machine. So it's also different. Although I've never done that. I've only played solo, actually. And another cool part is that every location has a specific action where you can activate. And one of those locations is that you can take one of the areas of the city and lift it up and then transport it to another area, which can be really, because it all connects because it's like a giant machine, right? So as a typical, aside from that, is a typical fight against time and stop this big baddie. But it also has several expansions, which changes it up and everything. It looks very pretty, nice miniatures and so on. And your question is going to be, have you painted them? No, of course not. But one day I will. And
no, nor have I, because I got the game too. But it feels like it deserves to be painted. It's really pretty. Those miniatures are really cool, and the characters are so dynamic. I think they really. Yeah, it's one of the awesome. It's an awesome genre. So yeah, that would be fun to paint though.
Yeah, and it's cyberpunk for the people who don't know.
No,
well, you probably
steampunk. Steampunk.
Steampunk. Sorry, steampunk. Yeah, sorry, steampunk. Yeah. But have you played it yet or not?
Only a little bit solo. It's great. It's a great game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because you know, I don't get to play cooperative games with people. I only get to play with myself.
Yeah, but then the other person can be the machine. You know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, it's a really cool game. I agree.
Number 28
is Grand Austria Hotel.
Okay.
I don't know if you played it.
Well, it's been on my wish list multiple times, but I still haven't acquired it now.
It's one of those, you know, it's one of my favorite group of designers. You know, the Italian group, Simone Luciani, whatever he does is really good. It was always good. And it's a dice drafting game at its core. It's a dice drafting game. So it's kind of very similar to what they do in other games like Gollum and stuff. So basically, you roll the dice, and then the 6 sides, obviously, and each side gives you a certain action. Like number 1 will get you can get strudel and cake or whatever it is, and the other one is you can get coffee and wine, and number 3. Each of the dice numbers gives you an action. But the key point is the amount of dice of that number tells you how many times you can do that action, how strong that action is. So if you get 3 4s, if you draft a 4, you can do that action by the value of 4 times.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So it's a very simple mechanic that way. So sometimes you really need action 1, but there's only 1 die, so you get the action, but it's a weaker version of it.
Yeah.
And there's always the 6 is a wild, but you have to pay money. So there's always a way to mitigate the roll, but you can always get 6. So what's interesting, you roll the dice, and then it has a snake drafting system. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. The problem with that is downtime in the base game. There's a lot of downtime. So you draw first, you will wait a long time before you drop your second die. But
so basically what you're saying is I should not play it at your place with certain people, otherwise I'm not going to like it.
yeah, fair enough. But there is the new expansion came up with a way of making it better. So which the orders changed. But the thing is, it's a real crunchy decision of getting those dice, and then you see what other people think of die, and you say, don't take the die because I really need it. And then also you get these, they call them employees cards, which give you special powers. They're really cool. They give you nice asymmetry. Then also you get visitor cards who sit in front of your hotel, and you've got to get them the food they need and the drink they want. Once you get the guest paid for, you get him his drink. He goes into the room upstairs, and so you get to fill up the rooms in your hotel. It's just a really neat little puzzle, but it all comes down to that neat, and also has that track which a lot of these games have. Like if you go certain far, you get a reward. If you're in the middle, you get nothing. If you're below the certain spot, you get penalized. You're rushing against that. They call it the Empress track, and it's just there's nothing incredibly new in the game, but it's just well put together and it's just fun. Yeah, and it comes down to clean dice drafting. I love dice drafting. It's a perfect for me. It's a perfect form of randomness because it's random. It's not like I'm screwed, but it's random choices, and you've got these choices now. You got to decide what you're going to do with these parameters, these limitations. So yeah, Randall's Hotel. It's a really really good game.
Yeah, I really feel like I should play it. Yeah, I really feel like I should play it, but yeah, it's one day. My number 28, you will be happy to hear, is a crossover.
Which one is it?
The Gallerist.
Oh, good, sir. Good choice.
Yeah. So we're at 10 now. Ding, 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 ding.
Okay. Ding, ding, ding. Good.
Yeah. So basically, going on. I'm trying to update here. So basically, the Gallerist, we talked about it before. I think the theme is so strong and the components are so nice. It's really cool. And then the mechanics that you can leave. So that basically you have the rondelle, I guess, that you are, you don't have to go around, but you just put your character there. And then, if I'm not mistaken, if you put it in a certain space, you can't just go everywhere, right? You have to, you're limited to where you can go, but then you can leave your assistant behind. And I like that the customers arrive in the square and then slowly go towards your gallery, but then other people can basically bribe them and make them go back to their gallery and so on. There's like a little competition there. And then the just choosing the artists and then lifting them up and then supporting them and then getting rid of it again. And not getting rid of them, but selling their art piece. I remember the first time we played, I was like so ready to sell my paintings. It's going to be huge, and then suddenly the game was over. I was like, what? So you have to really keep in mind also the international market on the left, because you can do make sure you get all those bonuses too. And yeah, of course, it can be frustrating sometimes if you play with really good players and then you constantly go somewhere where they left their assistants behind, and then they always get that action as well. So, but it's just be better, I guess. And yeah, just the whole production, the whole theme, the fact that it uses real paintings from around the world as well.
On little easels,
Yeah. That's also very cool. Yeah, it's a Lacerda, obviously, and it's one of my favorites. Not my favorite. Spoiler alert, there's others coming, but yeah, definitely high up there. And yeah, maybe we talked about it before.
I'm really looking forward to his next one, Speakeasy. That looks really cool.
Yeah. I still have to play the other one. Is it Inventions? I still haven't even tried
Inventions,
that one. So yeah, it's still
so many good games.
Yeah, for a little time. Yeah.
27.
27, so it's one of the games behind me there.
Star Wars Rebellion.
Over there.
It's
Chaos in the Old World.
Okay.
It's one of the original the Dudes on the Map, Eric Lang Dudes on the Map game, based on on the old world with all the gods there, which is Khorne, Nurgle, Sinach, and Slaanesh, and it's a typical area control map game. But the cool thing about it is that each of the factions are incredibly asymmetric. Each one is totally different, and you start with different cards. You have very different strategies, different win conditions, or different ways of getting win points. There's 2 ways of ending the game: points or There's this dial that gets clicked every time you do certain thing according to a race. And I just find it, because I had a former group from my old school, that used to play it a lot. Okay, so we played this game a lot, and that's one of the games, like, if you really know the races and you really know the meta, it's a really cool game because of the asymmetry. And yeah, it's a fantastic game. So, and I got the expansion, which is the rat, the horned rat expansion, which is going for big bucks on eBay right now. So I'm lucky I got it at the right time. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It's going for $470 US dollars right now.
I was about to say Hong Kong.
No, 475 just for an expansion, because it'll never come out. It'll never come back. This game is super. It'll never come back because it was a fantasy fight game and they lost the rights to the Warhammer universe. So, but the game is really cool, and some of the elements are in Blood Rage, but not a lot. It's just a really cool asymmetric dudes on that game. Yeah, it's one of my favorite games, and I got it. I painted it, and I'll never give it up.
Yeah, I've always been intrigued by it because the box looks really cool as well, and it's just was it delightfully evil?
The map is human skin.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the map is made out of human skin on stretched out. Oh no, it is dark because you're doing dark things on this world. Like if you're Nurgle, you're like spreading disease across the world, and if you're Khorne, you're just spreading chaos and death. No, but it's really cool. Yeah.
Okay. I would have loved to be a fly on the wall when they had a meeting about the human skin as a game board. Why don't we use human skin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
awesome. Perfect. Yeah. All right. Yeah. But like I said, that's definitely one I want to play as well because it's always intrigued me. Yeah. You will be very happy with my 27 because it is yet another crossover. Yes, which puts us on 11. Ding, 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 ding. And it is Rurik.
Good choice.
Yes.
Good choice.
So, yeah, it's been high. It dropped actually a bit. It was 23 and it was 10 last time. Now it's 27. Okay. So it's never been this low before, but it's because of a lack of play as usual. But yeah, and also new games. But just I think the thing that I like most about it is maybe it's of course the action selection system, but also the fact that you can go for one of the scoring objectives, go as high as you want, and then you can just let go of it and you'll still keep your score. You can try to conquer as many lands as possible, score the maximum there, and then just give it all up again. And there's no penalty. I like that because it is nerve-wracking in other games that you have to keep hold of it and now it's just like, okay, it's my turn now. Boom, 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 and then you can have it back next round. And of course, you do always have the action selection system as well, where there's a lot of mind reading. Because I was almost going to mention it when you were talking about Lancaster, when you said, like, if you put a guy out there and he's all by himself, sometimes you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to put one of my workers here, and I'm going to boost it with money so no one can take it away from me. And then 10 minutes later, you realize no one went there at all. And you just spend all that money for nothing. Yeah. So and people can bump you down or even kick you off completely, and then you have nothing. So yeah, it's a very cool game. And yeah, we talked about it before, like the player powers are not that interesting. That's too bad. But the expansion is good because it introduces a bunch of new buildings and they don't all come out every game. So it adds a lot of replayability there as well. And even well, the expansion, like with the prisoners, I've played games where I always had the shitty prisoners with the bad rewards, and the person across the table had all the good rewards, and I'm like, what? So that would added maybe a little bit too much randomness to it, or luck anyway. So yeah, I'm not convinced about the whole prison and taking prisoner stuff and getting the bonuses and everything, but yeah, in general, I think it's an awesome game. And yeah, that will never leave my collection for sure. So yeah, that's our 11th crossover.
26.
My 26 is Tekenu,
Okay.
the Obelisk of the Sun, which is
Mhm.
by my favorite designer. We met last year in Thailand, Daniel Tassini. It's part of the T
Mhm.
series,
Yep.
and it's set in ancient Egypt. And again, it's a dice drafting game. Again, one of my favorite mechanisms. But the interesting thing about this one here, it has this obelisk in the middle, which is don't really need it, but it's really cool to see have it in the middle, because
Mhm.
technically, what this idea is that the obelisk casts shadows. As the sun moves
Yeah.
around, and so basically, you don't really need the obelisk, but you need the disc that you rotate around the obelisk. And
Yeah.
it's in the dice are in certain quadrants, and certain sections. And if you draft the die from one section, the number and the section lets you do a certain action.
Mhm.
Typical, there's like multiple different actions to take. But what's also interesting is that you have the scale. So you try and get balance. So sometimes when the light is on the side of the option of the quadrant, the dice will become pure. And then when you take the pure die, you put it on the pure side of your scale. But if the shadow's on that side, and you take that die, the die will go onto the shadow side of the
Mhm.
darker side of your scale. And the idea is that with the pip numbers, you try to find balance between the pips.
Okay.
Making sense. So if you have too much, if you have too much on one side, the scale will flip, and then you're penalized because of that. So you're trying to make sure you get die of equal value to get the scale. And it's not that big a deal. It's not that difficult to do, if you play well. But it does cause you to make certain choices. I really like that. So that was there. But besides that, it's a typical Euro game. They've got these tracks. You get resources. Resources are tied to the game. You're building buildings. You're building obelisks. You're getting cards to give you powers. Cards to give you in-game scoring. There's a lot going on. A lot like drafting these cards, and it's just again, it's just a lot of mechanisms, a lot of Euro mechanisms, which I love, and I find the T series right. It's a Goldilocks game for me. The T series. It's not too heavy, not too light. It's just that right. Well, I'm looking at it, it's given a rating of 4.06 on Board Game Geek, which I'm saying is like just right, but I don't feel it's that heavy. But there's a lot going on. So yeah, but I really like the game.
Is it your highest ranked T series game? I don't think so, right?
Not
I
not
know
by a long shot.
I know there's at least one more that's coming.
There's at least two more. There's two more coming. And they're both off with T.
Yes, of course. Okay,
Yeah,
I was thinking of a
two more
joke,
coming.
but couldn't find one.
In fact, I got the special edition of one of them, the deluxe version of one of them this week.
Oh, okay. For a moment there, I thought you said the Ducks version. So everything's replaced by Ducks. It's like
no, but anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Tekenu.
Okay, my number 26 is gonna make you happy again because
Oh,
you haven't mentioned it yet, but I'm pretty sure it has to be on your list. It's impossible if it's not on your list, unless you forgot it, but I don't think so. It's all about cities, and they're all located underwater. So underwater cities is my 26. So I imagine that's probably on your list too. It used to be my 6, my 9, my 16, and now 26. So it's going down, but also because
it's way too low.
Yeah. Well, tell that to the other 25. So I think it's amazing. One of those games that you don't need the expansion because it's already great in itself. Well, I would buy the expansion because of the double layered boards, but aside from that, it's so cool. The fact that you have the cards that you have different colors and also have the actions on it. And if you combine the colors with the correct action, then you can do both of them. If I'm not mistaken, then no. If you put the color with the correct color on the board, you can do both actions on the card and the board. But if you, however, put your green card with red, you can only do the red action, the place where you're going, basically. So you try to make sure you always have both actions. And of course, your competitors, they don't really work with you, But then also
Mhm.
tactile wise, it's cool because you're building up your cities, the little domes. Of course, I wouldn't play with the promo, the green one, because it's OP.
Not that
But
OP.
it makes kelp
Why-
strategy a little
you
bit too
say you
easy.
save one. You save one. Come on. If you haven't got the engine to pay for all that, you're not
That's
paying
what
more
you
anyway.
say when you have it. But when other people
No,
have it,
I paid it twice, 2 weeks in a row. A couple of months ago, and it wasn't. We all had sufficient oxygen
Oh, okay.
engines too. No big deal.
But yeah, so also the scoring goals, they're different every game with the tiles, who has them and where they're placed. And the fact what I like the most even is the fact that after I think 2 or 3 turns, or 2 or 3 rounds, you have the production phase, and then you get a ton, if you play well at least, a ton of resources, and then you're super rich, and then 1 round later you're like, oh, it's all gone again. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's really really enjoyable, and yeah, and you can play this with people who are normally not even gamers. I feel because it's very simple rule set. I think they would grasp it very quickly, and yeah. But I'm sure we'll
Make
talk
me wanna
about it
play
some
again.
more. I also upgraded a
Yeah, we
lot.
will.
I'm sure you have as well with like
Mm.
Etsy stuff
Yeah,
and metal
this
coins and all that
Etsy
stuff.
stuff.
Mm,
Those
yeah.
from Board Game Geek Store.
Yeah, exactly.
25.
What is your number 25? Underwater cities.
My number 20. Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
My number 25 is. I'm surprised it's this low. Maybe it's just because it's difficult to table, but that's Anachrony
Ah,
by
yes.
one of my favorite design groups, Mind Clash Games. I love it. I like all their games,
Yeah.
and I really love there's just so much going on. It's a lot going on in this game, and it's a delicious puzzle. But just the concept of
ding, 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 by the way, because that was my
What's on?
62. That was my 62.
Oh yes,
It's another
yeah, I
crossover.
forgot.
So we're at 12 now.
Okay, there we are.
Okay.
12. Impressive.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yes.
it is 20. No, but it's just such a it's not elegant because there's a lot going on, and the board can be busy and some confusing, and sometimes the iconology can be confusing, and a lot going on. There's a lot of pieces, but the core concept is the loan system. Well, okay, the getting stuff on the future is just so cool, right? And which is technically a loan, but you get stuff in the future and then you got to pay it back, but otherwise you cause anomalies. That's great. The mechs with your workers on the mechs going out into the world to do actions, that's cool. The fact that a meteorite, that there'll be disasters later on, and then you'll lose certain spots as the countdown to the end of the world comes. It's just, as I said, there's just so much going on. It's a heavy game. Well, according to Board Game Geek, it's the same strength, same heaviness as Tekenu at 4. Actually, they say it's lighter, 401. I'm not sure I agree with that, but everything you said, it's just, and again, the asymmetry of the powers is really cool. The world is amazing, and the actions, and yeah, it's a game I want to play more often, which I'll never get to.
And also the fact that when you place your mechs, it's always like you're really always hoping like, okay, I really hope nobody goes there or there because I really need it. And actually I need to go to these 3 places all at once and I cannot. So I have to make choices.
Yeah.
And I need to have these resources, but that person just went there. How on earth I'm going to get the other one? And stuff like that.
And I need that special power card, but someone else took it. And I really need that resource because I won't be able to pay it back. Well, to fix the anomaly. No, there's so much going on, and that's it. Mind Clash they always hit it out the park for me.
I think it's a game that I'll always happily play, but definitely what you said about the setup, and this one game that whenever I play, I have to relearn all the rules because it's not rule friendly in that case.
No, it's I think all of Mind Clash the games are like that. So you got to go back and learn the rules again.
Because I once played on BGA.
Makes it fun.
I once played on BGA and I thought like, I'll remember. And then I didn't. The people I played with were not happy. Like, what are you doing? Like, I thought it was like that. Apparently not. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. it happens.
Yeah.
Definitely a good game. And once again, you'll be happy. 4 in a row.
Ooh, wow.
Ding,
Okay,
ding,
that's fun.
ding. Nucleum is my
Oh, bravo.
25. Yes.
So you like it more than me. Yeah, okay. Impressive.
Wow, a little bit, not much. Even though it's ridiculously low on your list. But no, but I think one of the reasons that we just talked about it in this episode already. But another thing that I
Yes.
like is the coal economy. So in the beginning, the
Yes.
coal is like all on the right. You can just get to it. It's like no problem. And the beginning is dirt cheap, but the more people keep buying, the more expensive it keeps getting and everything. I like that as well. And I like the fact that when you place your tracks, you can actually attach it to somebody else's tracks and then get those bonuses
Yes.
as well, and so on. And basically just also take them away, kind of away from the other person still gets it, but they were probably hoping to put their own people there.
Yes.
And yeah, just every time you do your action, you really have to carefully think like, do I want to place this track, or do I want to keep it because the actions are really nice? Or it's similar to Newton. Like if I use this track now, I'm not going to have that action anymore. So I need to make sure I buy one. But that person just bought it, and then and then you've got the goals as well. Some goals are super easy, but then the more difficult ones are so juicy. So you always have to make those choices as well. And the scoring, I also like, because you have the different brackets. So you want to make sure you score in each bracket once and not multiple ones in one, because it's a bad idea. So you want to, it's. I think the one thing that I suffer from in this game is that I don't go fast enough, because technically it's just another race, right? You want to get it as fast as possible and high as possible. And I always tend to take my time. So I need to speed myself up a bit for this race, but I like it way better than Brass Birmingham. That's definitely for sure.
I agree. It's a far better game.
I made the mistake though by saying like, "Oh, first game, I'm gonna go to the left side of the map while you guys on the right." That was a bad mistake.
And you're isolated,
yeah.
You're gonna be isolated.
And then it was difficult to get out of that hole. But anyway.
Yeah, I think the whole idea of the game is like same with Brass, is that there's interconnectivity between everyone.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
24.
Well, it's kind of not a crossover yet, but it's the same designer as Underworld City. It's Vladimir Suchi, and this is Praga Kaput Regni.
Yeah, it's not a crossover because I still haven't played it.
Yes. Now,
I played the tutorial on BGA. Yeah, but anyway.
No, I really, it's not as good as Underworld Cities, but it's still, again, it's a great little design. A lot going on. There's a lot going on. But it comes down to, again, the main mechanism, main good idea is this action selection wheel. Okay. So on this wheel, there are multiple discs, and the discs have 2 possible actions on it. And when you take the disc out, you get the disc and you get a bonus that's on top of it. Because on the wheel itself, there's a bunch of bonuses. So wherever the disc is, it gives a bonus above it. Okay. So you take the disc, you get the bonus, and then you take the disc and you put on the top of the wheel. Okay. So that means that the bonus that goes with the disc will always be different. Okay. So it keeps changing. And also where the disc is, according to where it's on the wheel. So if it's say it's at say if I use clock numbers, if it's from 1 to 3 o'clock, you have to pay. You get a penalty because that's early in the wheel. If it's like from what's it, 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, you get nothing. But if you're further on, you get a bonus, an extra bonus. So it's all about, should I take the action I really need now, but then I have to pay money. But if I take it now, if I don't take it, the next guy's going to get it. It becomes more juicy for the next guy because they'll be given victory points because they'll get up the wheel. There's all this choices. Should I take it now? Should I leave it? But then it might be good for the other person. But if I take it now and I put it back, then the next person will have to pay money to take it. So it's actually better that way. There's a lot of interesting decisions in that. And then, for example, also that they got this. The other thing is your resource on your player board. You've got these 2 resource wheels. I can't remember what the resources are, stone and gold, whatever it is.
Yeah, and eggs as well.
and eggs is eggs because apparently they used eggs in the on the walls. Anyway, but like if you do like your two resource wheels, either you take the resource action, say you take the gold action, you can either take the gold that your wheel's at, or you can move it one up to so next time it gives you more money. Because there's choices. Should I build up my engine, or should I take the resources now and keep my engine low? It's really cool. It's just, and as I said, there's a lot going on. There's a movement across the town map. You're building. There's another one. You're building buildings, and there's like a communal suburb area, and there's bonuses there. It's a lot to take in, a lot to explain, but it's just, again, I just love the choices that it provides. And that's why Suchi's one of my favorite designers. Like I said, this game did not get as much love as I think it deserves, because I really think it's a good game. So yeah, probably put
I think the main reason is because of the looks. Like similar to Castles of Burgundy, when I look at that board, I don't know, it just, even though I bought the game, I have it, right? But it seems to always put me off. So I think I just need someone to explain it to me, like it happened to Castle of Burgundy as well. Once someone explained it to me, even though Castle of Burgundy is actually really simple, I just couldn't get over the look and everything. And it's like sometimes someone just needs to kick your butt to learn the game. If
there's a lot going on, but there's a lot going on in this game. As I say, you also got those two towers at the end of the board. The church wall and other walls. We've got this 3D thing going on there. You've got the bridge. It's a lot. It's a lot going on.
Too much, man.
I wouldn't compare it to Castle of Burgundy.
No, but I'm just saying it's one of those games that you need to be properly I have to be properly motivated to actually give it a go. Anyway. So my number 24 is it the first one? I think it might be the first one. Campaign game. And that is Stars of Akarios. I guess maybe Gloomhaven came by earlier. Stars of Akarios. So even though the first edition had its faults, like in the rule book, in the storybook, there's like typos and mistakes and same blocks of text constantly being repeated. But that's going to be fixed with the Kickstarter that's going to be delivered in the next couple of months, I think. It doesn't matter when people are watching this, but whatever. But just it's basically Gloomhaven in space. You have your ship. Similar to Battlestar Galactica, you just got an attack, you're running away. So that's basically the first mission, you're running away. And then you also have another phase where you land on a planet and you're trying to explore, which is more like a seventh continent, because there's also those numbers and everything and stuff like that. And then, of course, you've got upgrades. You've got the space map where you're just flying, but then you might have an encounter, and then you go to a battle map where you're just doing like the dog fights, right? But then in space against all these ships. And the writing is okay. I wasn't blown away by it, but it's just all the different facets, like it's not just we're just in space. No, it's also you're going to be exploring planets. You're going to be doing the fights. You have, even from the beginning from the jump off, you already have different characters you have to choose, different types of ships, different types of abilities. So there's also a lot of replayability, even though I haven't touched it since the first time I played the first couple of scenarios, because I want to give it the attention it deserves. So it's probably going to keep going down until I put it on my table for a long time. But at the moment, we're playing Harakiri, which is not in my top 100. So maybe after that is finished, then maybe they'll... Harakiri will be in the top 100 next year, don't worry. But yeah.
Okay.
That's my 24. It actually went up because it used to be 29 and now it's 24, so it went up 5 spots. Maybe because Gloomhaven went down. Who knows? Because it also reminds you of Gloomhaven because it also has like a similar card system with the attack. When you attack people, you also reveal cards to have +1 or do double damage or cancel, stuff like that. Upgrade system is also very similar. But anyway, that's 24 Stars of Akarios.
Number 23.
I just changed it now with my 21. I was looking at the list. No. I changed. I I pulled rank and I decided to change around. Okay, so this was actually, you'll see what my 21 is, and you'll see why. Anyway, so my 23 is Viticulture, the Essential Edition.
Okay.
I just find, I'm putting it on your list. I just think Viticulture is one of
It was on my, it was 121, but it used to be 12 3 years ago.
Wow. I think it's more here because of it's a game that I wasn't just a game I love right now, but also a game I really, really respect and admire because it's just so clean. It's just an elegant game. It's a clean worker placement game. Very much, in some ways, very similar, not similar game, but similar in how I see it as Lords of Waterdeep.
Yeah,
it's just there's no pretentiousness about it. It's just a good, clean worker placement game with a good theme that works. Unlike Lords of Waterdeep, which is cubes pushing, but the Viticulture, and it has to be the Essential Edition, the new one, the one with 4 phases.
Yeah,
the other one's terrible.
I agree.
The 4 phases, and it's okay. There is problems with the game. The visitor cards are way too swingy, way imbalanced. Like some cards are awesome, some cards suck. Some cards are incredibly situational. Some cards are really good at the end game. Some are really good at the beginning of the game. They can be really, really swingy to the point that you always have to go get cards, because it just can change the game.
Yeah.
But if you look past that, and sometimes when someone stops you from being able to go plant, or stops you from being able to go harvest, or stops you from being able to go process, it can be really, 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 really annoying.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's
gonna go down on your list immediately.
75. No. I'm just saying there's problems with it. And I actually that actually shows how much I like the game, because even though it has those problems, because I think it's an old game, 2015, it's almost 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's at least Essential Edition. When was the first one?
Probably older than
2013. It's 2013. The first game came out 2013. So it's over 10 years old. So those issues would probably have been already fixed with Essential, but I can look past those problems, the slight problems, because of how clean it is, how accessible it is, and how much the theme works. It's a Euro game that doesn't just have a paint-on theme. It's a great theme, and it's a great game to play. So I think it deserves to be this high, even though I don't think it's one of my favorite. It's not a game I want to play all the time.
Well, I did upgrade my edition like crazy. It has the wine bottles. It has I even replaced all the pieces. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure if I played it again now, it would probably jump up again. But the problem is, I had the same thing with Ark Nova at one point. I don't feel the need to play it anymore. You know what I mean? I'm most likely always going to take something else, and I can't really explain why, because I think it's good. Like
the new expansion's cool.
Yeah.
The new expansion's cool with the new expansion with the big box, the solo, the team variant, and solo variant with the campaign. That's cool. I think you'd like that.
But are you sure there's no negative cards in there that might?
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, but yeah. So another thing I liked about Viticulture is the map with the stars that came with the expansion as well, the Essential Edition. And also the fact that you always get the wake up the morning bonus or whatever wherever your
that's such a cool mechanic.
Yeah. So yeah,
that came from Fresco. I think Fresco was the first game that did that. But yeah, it's a really cool mechanic. Yeah, Viticulture. My was 21, but I pushed it to 23. I changed it to 23.
I'm gonna make you happy again. This is really the crossover.
Oh, another
list.
crossover. Yeah. Ooh, which one is it this time?
Yeah, it's really wonderful. No, Wonderland's War.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, Wonderland's War is my 23. I haven't tried the new boards yet. I got them, but I haven't tried them yet.
Yeah, you should. They're far better.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's one of the games where I immediately made a how to play video for and everything. I made a song about it. You can go check that out.
With my pieces.
With your pieces, yeah. I still have to paint mine actually. So I just think it's really, really good. When I backed it, I had no specific expectations for it, to be honest. I was like, it looks like a cool theme, but let's see. And when it arrived, the production is out of this world. It's so nice.
I mean,
and then the whole mechanic of going around the table, and if you go too fast, you take madness. It's madness, right? I think. But then you've got the Cheshire Cat that actually can hand it out and stuff like that. And then you got the next phase with the bag building, where you are fighting and betting on who's going to win. And if you play with 5 people, then it's really like, oh, you better win, and stuff like that. And also there's different rounds. So even if you fail to win somewhere, the points go higher as the game progresses. So there's winning the first round means nothing. You can still end last. So
the whole mechanic where if you win, you lose your pieces. But if you lose, your pieces stay behind, which is kind of a catch-up mechanic in some ways.
Yeah, exactly. And then all the Wonderland creatures that come out, and then all the discs that have different powers that, depending on which card you use,
one of the choices,
so you can really mix and match it.
Cool.
And
the game is drop dead gorgeous, like we said. And I got I don't know if you got them. I got the stickers from Etsy for the pieces.
Yeah, I think I do. But I have to
those
double
really
check.
make a difference.
I was definitely planning on getting them. I hope I did.
Just all the meeples have to, because the Etsy stickers are perfect for it. It just makes the game pop even more. I think that they said they're going to have expansion in the future, and I'm really looking forward to it. Because just get more characters.
That will be an instant buy, because it's cool. Because all the characters play so differently.
They're going to have to make a bigger box though.
Yeah, that's true.
That box is tight.
But then again, I think I'm leaning now more towards just give me 2 boxes instead of one gigantic box that I can't take anywhere, So, but yeah, anyway, the characters themselves are also very different from each other, which is very different. They're different. They're not crazy different, but different enough. Especially with their special powers that they come up. Yeah, I mean, initially they're not, but then when you unlock the powers, they become more different.
Very, really cool.
Yeah, so that's my number 23, and that is the 14th crossover.
Wow.
Oh, it's been 5 this list already.
Bunny. Mina bunny.
Mina bunny. Mina and Papa bunny.
22.
What?
Is my one of my favorite? I think it's my favorite. Is it my top campaign game? Let me double check. I think it's my top. Yeah, no, there's another one campaign game after this. Yeah. Okay. So my second favorite campaign game is Tainted Grail.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna say Clank.
No, that's Legacy, not campaign.
Oh, yeah, true.
No, Tainted Grail. It's typical Awakened Realms, beautiful production. It's just the world it creates, the storytelling, the mood, the characters. It's and if you play with the new rules, where there's less grind, because the problem with the game was grind. I know you played it, right? Of course.
Yeah, I have, but I didn't include it in my list because it's been so long that I played it. I don't think I can adequately rate it anymore. Especially now with the updated version, I want to play the updated version and not rate the old one.
But it's just the system. I actually house ruled, the minions, whatever they call them, because they were just grinding. It was boring. It was annoying. So I house ruled that, and then the game came alive. The game was still difficult, even without that grinding of keeping those things aflame. The game was still difficult, but it's just fun. It's a open world. It's sandbox. Sometimes you're going too far left, and then you're way off topic, you're way off track. But then you still see cool things. You still do cool things. You remember them. You come back later. The story writing, like you said, Aquarius, what it was called, didn't have great storyline. This game has great storyline.
Yeah,
like Gloomhaven storylines. It's an amazing theme, and amazing storytelling. Like like the others, like Gloomhaven storytelling, not that great.
No, it's very generic.
Very generic. Seventh Continent was better, but Tainted Grail is top notch. It pulls you in. and it's cool. It's a cool solo game. You know, it's cool. It's difficult, but it's a really cool solo game.
And the characters as well. The characters are not just like good people or whatever. They all have like their deficiencies.
They're flawed. And did you play with that expansion with the personal character?
No, I know. I looked at it, but I know I have it, and I think that's awesome because several games do that, and I think I wish every game would do that because it adds so much more flavor to it. And
I wouldn't play without it because it gives you more personal stuff to do. And you get more test your character and all that. And you know, if I ever had time playing with a different character, the whole game again with a different character would be just fun, right? It would be totally different.
Yeah.
You know, like you'll see a story arc and I say, "Are you this character?" And you say, "No, I'm not." And you say, "Oh, I won't go there." You can't because you're not that character. But
exactly.
I think, you know, I just think it literally feels like an RPG on table. Like, you know,
there's only one downside that really annoyed me. And that is that the miniatures they're basically useless. They're amazingly beautiful, but you just put them on, you fight, they go away.
And then they chase you sometimes if you're like
But then it's so temporary. That's why when it was when they had ISS Vanguard, one of the first things I asked was, are the minis now more important? Apparently they're still not very important, but
no.
But yeah, anyway. But yeah. I think what I played, what I really loved. But I said I'll do it later. No, that was the first game where I said I'll play it after I finished painting everything. I went away from that pretty quickly.
Well, the thing is, I got Stalker.
Yeah.
The new one from them. And I didn't get it sun dropped because I said, "Oh, I'm gonna paint this." But who says I'm gonna paint it?
2027.
But Stalker's getting really good reviews. People say it's really good.
Well, maybe you'll talk about it next year.
Hopefully, inshallah. Okay, so Tangy Grail.
022, right? And I'm gonna make you happy again.
Are you just copying me now? You just
No, I would just it's all about heroes this time. It's all about heroes this time. You know, those heroes that you find on the land and in the air
and sea. Yeah. Impressive.
Heroes of land, air, and sea. Basically, Warcraft 1, 2, 3, the game. That's pretty high for me because it's Warcraft the game. It's you build your just like the video game, you have your capital and then or your headquarters, whatever your base, and even that you build up as you upgrade it becomes bigger. You have your heroes just like Warcraft. You have your minions that join you and everything, Mr. Warcraft. You can explore. Yeah, you can fight local stuff and so on that might pop up. Exploration. I guess there's no shroud, but I guess because there's no fog of war. But because you have all those discs that you can do, that's one thing I don't like, that you can finish the game if you explore everything. Yeah, that's lame. I would house rule that as not an option. But
well, I think what they were trying to say, okay, it's 4X game. Each of the X's can end the game.
Yeah,
but you're right. That's a fun way to end the game.
And then you talked about most of it already in the past, but the fact that you have the spells and then you can either use them to cast them or to attach them to your board, so you can use them later. When you upgrade, you unlock all these different skills. When someone does an action, you can follow them. So you're kind of trying to keep some serfs behind, so you can go around. And you have to attack, because if you turtle, you'll just lose, because the game will be over and you won't have any points, because the only way to get points is by attacking. So
I want to play the game again now. I'll play the game now. That was fun.
And a lot of races too, because with all the expansions. Very, very good game. But once again, more difficult to bring to the table, but that's true for most of my top 30, I think, because of the sizes. But they're worth it though. I'm
disappointed they never brought more races out. It'd be cool to have more races, but there's so many already in there. Like there's like what, 12 of them, wasn't it? 10 or 12.
Well,
so
I think initially it came in 3 big boxes. I managed to get it into 2 boxes. But
2, yeah.
So
I wish I would love to play it. I got in 2 boxes too.
I wish I you painted everything. I know you painted everything.
I painted it.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to that. Yeah, it's great call.
And that is number 15 in crossovers.
maybe this is another one now coming up.
21.
Oh,
It's Castles of Burgundy.
Yes. Very good.
Yes, and for the same reason, I think this and Castle Burgundy are very similar in that they're both beautifully elegant games. Castle of Burgundy is just a perfection when it comes to elegance, and again, dice drafting, right? But this whole point is you have two options. Take it. You roll your dice, and your choices are those two die.
Yeah.
You can mitigate it, but those two die. What are you gonna do with these die? You take this or you place it, and that's it. It's incredible how they give you such limited choices, yet so much choice and so much limitation. And it's just incredible. I just found it's an incredible game, and weirdly enough, it's perfect two-player game, but also two-player game is probably the worst way to play it because it's unpredictable what comes out.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot less choice.
Whereas
It's not as fun.
well, no, you can't predict. Like, for example, if you're going all pigs and pigs might never come out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's my point. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also
Whereas
just
with
fun
four
to have
players,
it's fun to have much
Yeah.
more stuff out there, and then
true.
Yeah.
But with 4 players, you know every time's coming out. If you don't take it now, you know you chose not to take it, and so it's.
Yeah.
Whereas the 2-player game, it can be a little random what comes out
Yeah.
because they don't mitigate the tiles, or they don't say like, I would take 3 green ones out to take this one out.
Yeah.
It's just random what comes out. But no, it's just a clean, perfect game. I think one of the perfect. It should be higher, but I think
I was looking at my
list.
lists, and I'm like, yeah, it should be on my list too. And I realized it's 32, and I was like, actually, yeah, this is actually too low for the amount that I've played.
As I said, when I was looking at it, I said, Viticul's 21. Viticul's not better than Castle Burgundy. It should be higher than that. And I'm thinking now maybe this game should even be higher, but maybe not. I'm looking at the list. I really like my other games, so.
And also, it's so easy to play on Board Game Arena. So, it's really nice to bring out the big box, but you don't really have to.
But but I think the game deserves to be that beautiful. It deserves it.
And the fact that there's so many tiles and so many options and so much variety, every time I play, I simply just don't get tired of it. It's just like every time again, it's like, okay, what am I going to go do? And so many different player boards that you have, like 30 or something, I think. Some are linked to expansions though, but yeah, anyway.
And and the expansions are fine. They just add little things here and there. They don't change the game that much.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very, very, very good.
There's another crossover.
Well, yes, my 21 is another crossover. We're at 17. Oh
okay, maybe it is 20 then. I could have said 10.
Yeah, we'll go for
20
20 then. We're at 17 now because the seventh crossover in this list on my side anyway, not counting Castle Burgundy and Acrony because that makes it 9. Is Western Legends. That is my number 21. Yeah. So I still remember when we played it the first time at your place, and we immediately played it 3 times. That says a lot because most of the time it's like, oh, let's play something else. And I was just like, no, new character. Let's try again. And just robbing. Basically, it's sandbox Western style. You can rob the train.
Yes.
You can go and gamble. You can mine for gold. You can go to the frontier. You can poker. 2 different kinds of poker even. And the poker cards also all have actions on them, which is also really cool.
I love that mechanic. I love that. I think that is so clever.
And then all the upgrades you can have. And all the upgrades don't come out every game as well, so that changes it up as well. It's just really nice. And then if you do some bad stuff, other people can come after you and arrest you, because you can win the game as being goody 2-shoes, but also like a bad guy, or swap throughout the game, because you're just trying to get legendary points and you can't lose them once you have them. So you can go bad and then turn good, or the other way around. And they'll have all the story cards as well that come out. So you have to do certain things, and then you'll activate it, get bonuses. Yeah, and I think this game definitely shines with the more people you play with, because then there's a lot more going on. And okay, it can be a bit long, but I don't mind because you're invested in other people's turns too. Like, what are you doing? Oh, you're attacking the train. Okay, somebody has to defend it, stuff like that. And
Who has to be the bad guy? Sometimes if there's a shootout, someone else becomes the other guy to
yeah,
get involved. Yeah.
yeah.
A good call. That's a good choice.
Yeah, and I painted that one. Yeah.
Did you? I haven't painted the buildings yet. I painted all
Right.
the characters. I haven't painted the buildings. I need to
The
do that.
buildings and the mountains, because I have like mountain ranges from Etsy and everything
Mhm.
as well. So I think the only thing I didn't paint was the train, because that already came black with some brown on it. I was like, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
go to those lengths.
Yeah,
But
I got the buildings through the Kickstarter, and they came in this god awful like orange yellow color.
yeah. I got everything from Etsy.
So
Yeah.
I need to paint those things.
And funny thing is,
Are you
some of the
interested?
buildings are damaged, and it doesn't even matter because it fits the theme.
Are you gonna
Yeah.
go for the new game in the universe? Do
Ah,
you know about it?
yeah,
new one's coming
stories,
out.
right? Yeah, I'm not at the moment, but I don't know. We'll see when it comes out. At the moment, I'm not
Yeah,
really. I don't feel the need, but
depends because as long as it might be, I think it looks different. It doesn't look the same type of game.
yeah.
So we'll see.
Okay, so we are at the moment at 17 crossovers, but I think my 20 to 11 will be less. So
I'm sure I'll
I
have a
hope so.
couple.
I do
I'm
have
hoping mine.
I still have 4 new games to the list coming. 5
Really?
in the last 20.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 new games.
Also the new mine. I don't think I've got any new. I got one. Maybe 1 or 2. I'll see. Can't remember. I haven't watched yet.
Okay.
No. Okay.
All right. So 2 more videos to go. And by the way, for the people who have noticed that we look different, it's been so long from we started till now. I think we started in May. It is now October. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
When we
And
finish,
it makes it,
we have to start a new list.
yeah, when we finish. Exactly.
We'll start over again.
Yes. This is actually 2027. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see you guys
Okay.
next time. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.